recall?
Yeah.
John, you're not putting for disability,
Give this to John, open it up for him.
Are we on in the back?
John,
Are we on?
Ed, you throw like a little girl.
Fred, are we on in the back?
We're on. Meeting called to order. Today is Tuesday, May 24th. It is now 7 o'clock. Town Council meeting in Town Council Chambers, 1170 Main Street, West Warwick, Rhode Island. Ed, will you lead us in prayer?
Dear Lord, we ask that you please watch over this great country and protect us from the evil that's in this world. And we ask that you watch over the great citizens of West Warwick. Please help guide this council in making wise decisions, informed decisions, and always with a little bit of compassion. Amen.
Angela, lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. I'm missing that banquet tonight, awards banquet for the sewer plant.
Brian Tucko.
Here.
David Kenningham.
Here.
Angelo Padula.
Here.
Ed Giroux, Council Vice President Giroux.
Here?
Council President Goslin.
Here.
There is a quorum on record. Amplify a loudspeaker and live band. Resolved that the Town Council hereby approves the following application. West Warwick Elks, attention Gerard Bucci, 60 Clyde Street on May 28, 2016, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
I'll move the resolution.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Any public discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Car show permit. Resolved that the Town Council hereby approves the following application. West Warwick Elks, attention Gerard Bucci, at 60 Clyde Street on May 29, 2016, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Any public discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Ordinance number 2016-4, second reading, sponsored by Council President Goslin, an ordinance authorizing the Town of West Warwick to finance the construction, equipment, and installation of energy-efficient improvements in municipal facilities and all attendant expenses, including but not limited to engineering costs, and approving the finance thereof through insurance of general obligation bonds and in notes in the amount of not to exceed 1 million, what is it, 1 million, 1.3 million.
I'll move the ordinance.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? This is just basically the road bond money.
No, this is,
No.
this is energy improvement money. This is part of Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank that we've applied for civic center improvements, the
Yep.
purchase of the street lights. We haven't decided yet if we're gonna go with this until we get, what they give us for an interest rate. They haven't, figured that out yet, but as soon as they do, then we'll be able to compare that with our other options. We'll bring those options back to the council and you can decide, which way you wanna go with it. But this gives us the ability to do this, if that's the way we decide to go. If we don't have to worry about it. So, but we need it in place because they're going to be announcing that, I think, in another week or two.
Yes, early June.
Oh, yeah, gee, that was nice.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Brian? Yes. Angela?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Additions and cancellation of taxes. Resolved that the taxes in the amount of $142.35 and the cancellations in the amount of $387.96 presented to the tax assessor for approval of the Town Council in accordance with Article 25, Section 5 of the West Warwick Code of Ordinance is hereby approved. Original list is filed in the tax assessor's office.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussions?
Any public discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Certification of the town budget. Resolved that the attachment is certified as the town budget approved at the May 19, 2016 all-day referendum.
I'll move the resolution.
Second.
Moving second, any discussion? This is just basically accepting the budget. Any public discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Wait, you're reading.
Opposed?
Ayes have it.
Nobody moved to waive the reading.
Tax levy.
I'll make a motion to waive the reading.
Why?
I know, I think we should hear it.
Yeah, I think.
What do you think, Ed?
I think we should hear it.
Who seconded that? David, thank you, David.
Yeah, but we didn't say all in favor yet.
All in favor to waive the reading?
Aye.
Opposed? Aye.
Now I'll move the resolution.
Second.
All right. Basically, John, you want to just throw out the dollar amounts on here, please? That way, because we did waive the reading. 60, all right, I'm sorry. Personal property, the sum not less than $60,467,314, and not more than $62,886,006. So that's basically the levy. Any other comment? Any public comment? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
A resolution relative to the mutual aid agreement sponsored by Council President Goslin.
What, what's that mean? You getting paid to be here tonight, then you should be able to read that. I'll, make a motion to waive the reading.
Motion to waive the reading, seconded. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Ayes
Now I'll
have
move
it.
the resolution.
Second.
Chief?
Good evening.
Emailed me on this earlier last week.
Yeah, this is similar agreements that we have with Coventry, East Greenwich, and Warwick. The only neighboring department that we border that we didn't have one with was the city of Cranston, so this is just bringing a similar agreement to what we have in Warwick, East Greenwich, and Coventry regarding non-emergency mutual aid.
Anybody? Go ahead.
What's your feeling on the agreement? Is it standard with?
It's standard, I recommend it. So it needs approval by the town council, then also the city council in Cranston.
The other cities and towns all voted for mutual aid from West Warwick, and they're gonna give it to us also?
Yes, similar to, like I said, Warwick, Coventry, and East Greenwich that we currently have now.
The agreements that are proposed and signed by both chiefs, that are approved by both governing bodies, will offer mutual aid to go back and forth. But Chief, the one question I had is now that we have all four of us surrounding communities, do you think it would be in the best interest of the town to convert the resolutions into an ordinance? Only because you're following what 4542-4 as a statute allows you to do, and the ordinance might just give a little more bite if somebody ever wanted to challenge the resolutions individually.
I would defer to you. I know the statute says it has to be approved by resolution, but, I would,
But I think now that since we
The
got
interpretation.
all four of the communities surrounding West Warwick, we now have mutual aids, we might want to, town council might want to think about taking all four of the resolutions and consolidating that into one ordinance, whereby we would have the mutual aid agreements as law versus a resolution.
Chief,
Just a suggestion.
one quick question.
sure.
You said the city of Cranston has to agree upon it. If we agree upon it here tonight, and they don't agree upon it, are we going to supply mutual aid to them, but they're not going to supply mutual aid to us?
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, I don't see an issue, but the agreement wouldn't be in effect unless both
It's not
communities. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not mutual, so if the West Warwick Town Council approves it and the Cranston City Council does not approve it, there's no agreement.
Okay. Any other questions for the chief? Any public questions? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
A resolution memorializing the General Assembly to enact legislation which would restore funding for the state aid to libraries to the full 25% required in Rhode Island General Laws 29-6-2 and urges the town of West Warwick to
Delegation.
delegate to the General Assembly to work digitally for its passage. Sponsored by Council Vice President Giroux. That just didn't
I'll
wanna
move
come
the
out.
resolution.
Second.
Moved and seconded.
This is really a no-brainer. You know, they've cut the library aid down to about 21%, 22%. And this is just really memorializing our support that it be restored back up to the for 25%.
Asking them to follow the law, essentially?
Yeah, basically, yes.
The
Yeah.
governor's budget is
Then,
proposing.
once they do that, then we'll get them on the excise tax on the cars, too.
Yeah, please do. Any other discussion? Any public discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
A resolution memorializing the General Assembly to enact legislation which would include supporting the authorization in the state fiscal 2017 budget for the 35 million green economy bond referendum proposed by Governor Raimondo for voter consideration at the November 2016 general election, sponsored by Council Vice President Giroux.
I'll move the resolution.
Second.
Moving second. Ed?
Okay, yeah, this, again, is giving our, memorializing our approval of, again, a no-brainer for open space. And if you guys remember, the last one that they did, West Warwick was a recipient of a lot of money. I mean, that's how we did a lot of things. That's how we did I believe, our tennis courts. We had, what, a $300,000 match a few years back. So it would be great to get that money flowing again into the town, and I congratulate the governor for her pursuit in this, and we absolutely want to, push it into doing this, and give our congratulations and also our, not consent, support for doing this. Thank you.
Any other questions? Any public comment? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution in support of the RIDEM 2016 Recreation Acquisition and Development Grant, sponsored by the Town Council.
I'll move the resolution.
Moving second, discussion? I do have a couple of comments on here. I know Kent Reynolds has had some conversations with Mark about this. I sent Mark, I think I sent it to you and
Yeah.
Mark, and Mark said there wasn't enough time, and plus, he said we need DEM approval, and, because it's over the landfill. The portion, and I went back to Kent Reynolds and was talking to him where they wanted to put the bathrooms. They are nowhere near the dump portion.
But it is, Mark took the map out for our remediation
Yeah, they felt
plan
that
for
fell
that.
within the dump.
And it fell within the zone. So whether or not it was within the dump portion or not, it's within the remediation zone. So anything would have to get DM approval prior to applying. They won't even consider the grant because first thing they do is they send them over to each section and say, is this something we can look at? And if they say not without our approval, they'll drop it down. So that's why we just haven't had an opportunity to look at it. We'd have to have Fuss and O'Neill look at it. Make a recommendation, say what's really under there, because they have the
Yeah.
analysis, and do all that, submit it to DEM, and then have them say yay or nay
So the bathrooms would be a no.
for this round. But
Okay.
with this bond that we just supported in the last resolution, it's very likely there's going to be another round next year, and we have the time to get all that work done in between there to apply for the next round.
If that's the case, can we just make sure, I know this year they went with a different porta potty person, and they only come once a week, and they come on Monday, and by Saturday, Sunday, they're still playing baseball down there, and they're porta potties aren't made to be cleaned once a week, but
Okay.
nobody,
We can-
they do a nice job after it's clean, but it only stays clean for 2-3 days.
Okay.
And I'll let the league know
Yeah.
that it could be on for future consideration. Any other questions? Hearing none, any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Is that public comment?
That's all you gotta say, public comment.
Usually use that.
Anything from the council? I do have, go ahead, Brian.
Just so you know, there's something under consideration. Al DiFiore is going to be working with the Safety Committee. I don't even know if he's mentioned that to you yet, Chief. I had a couple of complaints from folks on East Greenwich Avenue about trucks coming through. And Al was telling me that to enforce any no-through trucks, we've got no-through trucks on either end, but our ordinances to prevent that and enforce it were lax. So we're going to be seeing something come through probably within the next month or so through the council, and get your thoughts on areas that you think may warrant, more no-through truck signs, and how are we going to enforce it? What will be available to go through neighborhoods and that? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really, it's out of control.
I was gonna say, you have a tough time in there because there's a couple of places that need to go in there with
Yeah,
trucks.
and that's okay, to Astromed and
But the second half going down to Main Street up to the corner,
exactly.
there's not
And
nothing.
they cut through and that.
Yeah.
We had the same problem on Grandview, where the buses and trucks and bad, and then they were going through the back plats when they couldn't go that way. So we stopped the buses and the big trucks from using that road, they used Main Street.
Yeah,
But
folks
we
in
didn't
residential
enforce it.
neighborhoods shouldn't have to.
No, I mean, it's totally ridiculous.
Al's gonna review it with the safety committee, try and come up with a consensus of how to deliver it to us, what needs to be addressed, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay,
Wakefield.
I want something I want to bring up to the council real quick. There is going to be, Chris Messier is vacating his position as a school committee person. And
Messier.
Chris Messier, he moved out of Ward 4 and is living in Ward 3 now. There's nothing to the charter that, Timmy and I were having a discussion about this, but he's vacating that position. So the question I have for the council is, we have the right to do one of two things. One, appoint a person till November, or leave it vacant until November. So,
Well, my question is, the school committee already voted on their budget, they had their budget
Yeah.
hearings. There's nothing of the nature to have an emergency where it would be 2-2 tie. So my opinion is, you're having an election very shortly.
But you have to do it, because if you don't do it, you force the clerk to have an election. So with the vacancy being, with the opening being there, because of the time frame issue, you either have to appoint, or I think if 90 days goes by, you have to have an election.
Doesn't the charter say if it's within a year?
That's it, that's what I thought.
364 days,
Guys.
no, that you can appoint.
Listen, the state law is gonna supersede the charter when it comes to filling positions, because remember, the school committee is a branch of the state government in some aspects. All right, even though it's an elected position here, it's local, the school committees are still arms of the Department of Education, so that really dictates.
well, the question is, do we know,
We'll just put it out there.
you know,
Put it out there and have applicants.
do we want to put somebody in there who's not going to run and just be there for 4 to 6 months, or do you want somebody who?
You're gonna have to put somebody in there from Ward 4.
Yeah, I know.
That's the only.
But we can
issue.
also look at it as, do we know who the candidates are gonna be, and, do you wanna go that route? It all depends what the,
Yeah, it's so soon since he announced that.
yes, and I spoke to the superintendent via email today, and her opinion, she said if we're gonna put somebody in, she would like somebody who is gonna work diligently and,
Can I make a suggestion?
but also would like to see if there's nobody who comes up, she says there's no pressing matters, like Angela just said, that, if it's vacant, it's vacant.
Well,
But
we
she'd
can
like to
give
get
you
it.
the drop dead date that the council has to make a decision one way or the other. And then that way you'll know what you have to do.
Yeah, that's all. For the next meeting,
Right, because
we'll know.
you do have declarations coming out the fourth week of June. And I think the meeting that takes place is gonna be the first day of declarations. So the second meeting in June, that Tuesday, I think, is it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for declarations? Or
The
Wednesday,
20
Thursday,
I
Friday?
think it's 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, or the 23rd, 24th,
But is it
25th.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for declarations? So the second meeting for the council in June will occur before declarations, so you might just wanna, think about what's gonna happen and,
Do we have to post a notice
no,
or something?
Nope.
Nothing.
anybody that's, it's like
We've appointed 3 individuals in the past. We've appointed
Bruce Vanas, Jimmy Williamson, and Vince Bradley.
Vince Bradley.
Has he officially terminated his position yet?
He's publicly announced it, so.
No, that's
Yeah,
not
but
what I
that's not the
said.
same.
has
I know, do you have it in
Has
writing?
he sent a letter into the school committee?
Yes,
Right, and has the council got a copy of it?
No.
Or the clerk's office?
not yet.
You need that, because that's the official.
That's the starting point.
Right, exactly. Okay? But we can certainly give you a date, of a drop dead date.
No cell phones, Jerome.
At least it's, what do you have? Baby crying or something?
No, mine's a
Do you have
bell.
anything else?
Baby crying.
Anybody else from the council have anything?
Call, you hear the ring.
I had something, but I forgot what it was. Something to do with the school committee, and there was something else.
Yeah, I want to bring up something very quickly, and that, I see that the traffic calming device on Pulaski Street has been installed. I know David and I talked about it, and it's great that it's there. I like it there, I think it's good. We've got a few comments, I know, Dave, you have.
Yeah.
You want to,
Yeah, so Fred, I haven't had a chance to talk to you about it yet, but there were two signs installed on Pulaski Street, which is the border between Ward 3 and Ward 4. And like Ed just said, in principle, I kind of agree with them being there based on everything that I've heard from the Traffic Commission and everyone else. The problem that I have is that I found out about the traffic signs being installed by the residents who lived right across the street from them. It never came before the council. And what was so ironic about it was the day that they emailed me was the day I got an email from the Traffic Commission about putting a no parking sign on Cochrane Street. So the residents want to know in that area specifically, when was this discussed, who approved it, where'd the money come from, and I don't have the answers to those questions, which really puts me in a really hard spot for my constituency. So that's kind of where we're at.
well, we, in Fred and I discussed it, and evidently we did talk about it. I think maybe we didn't know the exact date that it was coming in, because that's why David Lombardi ordered it, because we had talked about it, and we said, let's try that.
Because we were discussing the chatter strips. The chatter strips
Right,
were
the
thrown out, and we
different
said, you know what,
alternatives.
signs might be
And
the better
Angelo said,
thing.
He's worked on Wakefield.
And I remember.
Work here, and everyone said, well, let's
Yeah,
try
let's
that.
try it.
Yeah.
And we all voted on it.
Yeah.
I don't think we voted
Yeah,
on
we
it.
voted on it.
No, there was no vote.
We all
There
agreed.
was certainly a consensus.
Yeah, we can do-
And
there was an
that's
official
what
vote,
Dave
otherwise you
went by,
could go
was that
back and check it.
consensus. He ordered it,
Yeah.
it came out of his regular traffic sign, he's got a budget for traffic signs, for, for no park and all those, and he ordered them based upon that conversation. I
Do
didn't
they-
realize they were being installed until I started getting the
But
calls.
but what it brings up is, I mean, several years back, we made it a point, and I'm not sure if we put it in an ordinance or resolution or whatever, but when we have any kind of, traffic device, we're supposed to canvass the neighborhood within, so many 100 feet from where we're going to put the device. This is a traffic calming device. So that prevents people waking up in the morning and seeing a no parking sign in front of their house or across the street or whatever in their neighborhood, right? I doubt
that-
very
I got
much
that
if
problem
if
going
that
on
was
myself.
done.
It wasn't done.
So it wasn't. So the second thing also is I'd like to revisit the actual ordinance of the Traffic Commission. I think they're doing a great job.
Yes.
But I know for a fact that there have been no parking signs put up, not by the town council authority, but put up because it might be a friend, might have been a past employee of the town or something, and it was put up without, and whether right or wrong, whether it belongs there or not, the protocol is not right. And I just want to make sure, I want to revisit the ordinance again, or the resolution, and make sure that it suits our needs. My opinion is that they're an advisory group,
Yeah.
right? And they're doing a great job. I want to say that again, Chief, they're doing a very good job. We need their eyes and their ears to go out there and make recommendations to us on, we want them to be proactive.
The most important thing is giving the residents a chance, an open chance to come here
Absolutely.
and voice their concerns. Because if those two residents that emailed me would have came here and voiced their concerns, like we were just saying, Ed, I probably would have agreed with putting the signs up still, because I drove by the other day, and as I was circling, I went to go see them because I hadn't seen them yet, and as I was circling back down, everyone was driving slow near the daycare.
Yeah.
Because there was something yellow in the middle of the road, and it just so
Yeah, I
happens to
told you
work.
that slows
I
them right
don't,
down.
thi-
But
I don't think that, I don't think,
The 8:30 a.m. email from someone saying, why did this happen?
Yeah.
Or when did this happen?
Oops.
That was the issue.
and I don't think that the Traffic Commission really had anything to do with this. I think it was the DPW that put it up. But,
Well, the traffic commission discussed it and brought it in based upon
right,
discussion
right,
with the council,
as a
said,
possible,
okay,
as a
yeah.
possible resolution, so that's fine.
The only thing is, I remember when, now, if I'm correct, Angelo, when we put yours up, it was done through a resolution. And that was the only thing that we probably missed here.
The question is, what kind of traffic safety devices qualify under the ordinance
Right now.
for notification? I guess that's what,
Somebody could shut off.
Other than for immediate public safety, there should be no signage put up in this town, permanent signage up in this town, without passage of this council. And that was how it used to be. So if you see a no parking sign, you should be able to refer back to
The ordinance.
an ordinance for that sign.
You mentioned
okay?
that as
And I
part
can
of
tell
the
you right now,
meeting that we
there's
had.
plenty of signs here, there, and everywhere that were not passed that way. They just appeared the next day. So I want to follow what we set up in the past. Make sure you canvass the people, so that they know that it's going up, why it's going up, see if they're, before you put it up, not post, but pre. And there'll be a lot of happier people. These are their neighborhoods,
I
so-
got the same problem on Providence Street and Penta Street, where Dewey's just opened up. I received an email from the Traffic Commission saying if I would sponsor a 2-hour parking. And I emailed Paula and I said, I would sponsor it only if the citizens of the owners that abut that, so many 100 feet, are notified, and we have a hearing for that sign to go up. Otherwise, you're not gonna put a 2-hour parking sign without notifying the neighbors. Same thing as you. I
Absolutely.
mean, it should be,
And I think, again, they may know better than us certain areas or certain situations where there might be a need for a signage, and that's great. I want them to be proactive on that, but come to the council with their recommendations and also argument. I mean, maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe the fire chief wants to weigh in on that. Maybe the police chief wants to weigh in on that. Maybe the manager or the DPW director wants to weigh in. But the neighborhood has to be canvassed, and I know they always have been. Maybe we just missed this one. They have to be canvassed. I don't want them surprised, and I want to review the ordinance to make sure that it's what we want.
Yeah, just a couple of things. First thing, I don't believe there's an ordinance that creates that committee. So that,
No?
No, it basically says the police chief. And basically, the Traffic Safety Commission is serving that role for the police chief, makes recommendation, but he has the ordinance, with the exception of stop signs and what signs look like, it's the police chief's purview as it currently stands in the ordinance. So I'm fine with writing the ordinance however the council wants it. The chief can weigh in on that discussion. But right now, that's what it says.
So are they coming to us as a courtesy? Is that what we've been doing all these years?
No,
Voting on this stuff as a courtesy?
In practice, we've
I
always
don't
done
think
that.
so.
Anything like that, stop sign and parking signs,
I think the
things like
bottom
that.
line is the autonomy of the police chief years ago,
Right.
prior to, say, the election of a mayor or the town manager form of government. Police department had a lot more autonomy way back when, as to not, I guess, bother the council with frivolous issues, and they had all the authority to do that. However, over time, the ordinances were never changed, nothing was ever changed to take that authority away from the police chief. Now, if the police chief decides to put a sign up that the council doesn't know about, and again, it's in conflict with other ordinances or resolutions, that just needs to be codified. So,
I-
you know,
Well, I have no problem with the chief
I don't think
making,
the authority is gonna be taken away, it's just a question of, how it gets done in the approval of the council.
Chief, I have no problem with your judgment and that sort of thing, but from what Ed and Angela were saying, and Dave too, is that the public deserves to weigh in on that, and in those sort of instances where the chief makes the decision, the public doesn't have any chance.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, no, I do have a
if-
problem with that. How about you?
yeah, I do.
Yeah. I want your recommendations.
Yeah,
I
if
don't want to wake up in the morning and see a no parking sign on Main Street because he's a good guy.
If I could just say a few words. Yeah, I haven't approved any signage that creates a new offense. I mean, I didn't really know that these signs that say, daycare were put up until after they were, actually until I received the email asking about it. I certainly don't authorize any signs that create an offense, such as a no parking. I mean, I don't authorize no parking anywhere. That's established by ordinance, and that's how we enforce them. So what may have been done in the past, I don't know, but I've never authorized any signage that creates an offense. I mean, I guess if the traffic committee approved putting up these signs, which basically just say caution, there's a daycare, and I know there was a problem, there was a lot of complaints about, driving in that area, and we've tried different things. Those signs do not create any additional offense that people would be cited for. It was strictly a warning, and like I said, I didn't know about them. Major Knott had mentioned them to me back in the fall, and then they went up.
I think I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think some of the concern was the town is putting up signs for a private business. So if Cardi's wanted slow down furniture store, are we gonna put a sign up for them?
No, but I think, Dave, I think it's different because you got children.
Public safety.
It's public
It is
safety
public
for our
safety.
constituents' children.
But that was some of the concerns of some of the individuals on Pulaski Street, I heard the same stuff.
So Chief, give me an example of a sign that you would okay to put up without authority from the council.
I don't think I really have. I mean, if there's a no parking zone that's there, I mean, I guess one example would be to put up a speed limit sign. The speed limit set by statute
Yeah.
or ordinance,
Yeah.
and if it's an area where there's a problem, and maybe we want to conduct enforcement, and there's no signage,
But what poles those are placed on, there's no decision. That's fine for you to make that decision. A speeding sign is a little bit different,
Children at play,
You know.
speeding, speed limit, children at play,
Yeah.
those are the ones that I don't foresee.
Right.
It's the stop sign, no parking is the ones that we should be involved in.
Right.
and those need to be established by ordinance in order to be enforceable. We can't just put up stop signs wherever we please.
I mean, we just had that on Astor Street, where a couple of years ago, we put 2-hour parking. You enforce that today.
Yeah, and that's
That was all
that's
done
by
by
ordinance
ordinance.
approved by the
Yeah,
council.
I don't think it's rampant, but over the years, do you remember the situation in Cranston?
Yeah,
Where
that's,
they had dozens and
Sure.
dozens of signs, stop signs, all sorts of different signs that nobody ever approved. They just decided to go out one day and put them up, all right? I just want to make sure that that doesn't happen here. And I know, in fact, that there are signs, no parking, that type of thing, that over the years, right, have been put up.
And Chief, believe me when I say I am
on
not
the
questioning
night
your
of the,
judgment.
the
I just want the
docket
public
line.
to have their due process is my only
can tell you
concern.
two right now.
I'm not questioning your judgment at all.
yeah, and I think,
On Main
just
Street.
using this one as an example, I mean, it was just an approach to try to get, address the problem with the speeding. I know they had mentioned those chatter strips, and we were gonna move forward until we discovered, that they make a lot of noise and probably disturb the neighbors.
Again, maybe, let me make it clear. I like them, I think they belong there, but I think the people in the area shouldn't be surprised. And also the questions of, I got an email yesterday, is there enough room for UPS trucks to get around it? What happens when we plow? Those two things, very valid questions.
They bolted in like mine on Wakefield Street.
Yeah, they are.
Come out.
They Yeah.
pop them out if there's a.
They can pop them
Yeah.
out. They pop them out, put them, matter of fact, somebody stole one on Wakefield Street. They
Yeah.
stole it.
I don't know that we'd want to, just recommendation, put those all over the place, because I think if you look at the ones on Wakefield Street, they've been hit quite a few times. And I remember some years back, there was some that they placed in Arctic after they'd put the bump outs and whatnot, I should say, and they were getting hit and struck, and so that does create, so there's one of the issues with putting those signs out there if somebody hits them. Now, where's the
But Chief,
liability
in all
for?
due respect, I gotta tell you, I used to get at least 5 calls a day with the speeding by the manners in the church, St. Joe's, the
Sure.
kids at school in the auditorium. And since them have been up, I got none.
No, and it's
No,
nice
I
with
mean,
those new
yeah,
lighted signs.
right.
I think it's very clear that, there's stop signs, you need to use some
Right.
caution
Yeah,
over there.
specifically on Pulaski Street, and David knows, I get calls all the time. We have a speeding problem in town. Your men and women are doing the best they can with the staff that they have. They truly are. So we've got to use other than, personnel to try to calm it down. And something like that, I think it will. And with school letting out, just in a few weeks, as well as I do, that the kids are out there on the roads with their cars, and there'll be more speeding going around in town, and we'll start getting, that's when I get most of my phone calls, the beginning of summer.
And then when they get tickets, that live in the plat themselves, they call you that they got a ticket.
You're right.
And we do, I mean, we do have some concerns with the new roads. You know, that's going to create a nice road, but also a road where
Yes.
people will probably drive a little quicker.
Yeah, I mean, we experienced that on Earl Street a little bit, but for the most part, they do respect the stop signs that,
Sure.
and although they don't stop, they slow down a little bit and then go through it. But, we could issue all sorts of tickets. Probably half of them would go to my wife. But,
Way to go, Chief. You didn't hear that, did you, Chief?
I didn't, that's Ed Giroux, Earl Street.
Hey, Dave, how'd you like to rob a bank with him?
Don't say anything. Oh, I won't.
Oh,
I
God.
give a heck all the time. That's a stop sign.
Jerry,
Does it
did you
say
hear that?
roll? Nah.
What I would recommend is that we really revamp the ordinances that are in play here, because really the guidance isn't there. And with respect to specifically the parking sign change you talked about on Main Street, in those Traffic Safety Commission meetings, the ordinance says that only the council can designate no parking areas. Only the council can designate stop sign areas. But within those areas, once they're designated, the application has always been, if somebody, and this has happened for numerous businesses along Main Street and other parts of town, if it's already a parking limit designation area, that if certain businesses are a walk-in and pay your bill type business, that the Traffic Safety Commission has in the past granted those just very small areas so they can have that one individual that's paying their bill. We've done it with Kent County Water in the past. We've done it with others because they don't want the elderly people to have to walk far away.
It's a strong
So-
argument, but bring it to the
and
council for us to
I
decide.
agree completely now, Ed, and
Yeah,
I
it's a
understand
very
what
good
you're asking,
argument.
but I think those types of things should be very clear in the ordinance, so it's very clear to anybody, not just for this council, but future councils, future administrations, so they know exactly what the rules are, because they're not defined. And I think that the more we define it, the easier it is to deal with these things in the
And it
future.
keeps us
We won't have-
informed.
Absolutely.
So that we're
Yeah.
not blindsided
No, I
when
agree
a constituent
completely.
calls up and says,
Yeah.
hey, I just saw a no parking sign in front of my house.
Yeah.
And
No, I agree.
I think those letters should go out before we have it on the council agenda, saying we're having a hearing July 5th
Yep.
on no parking and around the vicinity where the people are. This
Sure.
way here, they can come to the meeting and tell us.
What
their-
is a good distance, within
I
200?
don't know, we had discussed this before. I don't know if we need letters. I don't want to get
Because
too
if
much
we
into
send-
bureaucracy.
I never sent
But I
letters.
know we used to, at least
And the thing is-
initially,
Knock
when
on
we
the
talked
doors.
about it,
Yeah.
we used to
Like
canvass the
Julie's-
neighborhood.
If you send
You
out
know,
letters.
so, like,
all
a
those
few hundred
people,
feet
we don't have
is
information on.
fine.
We
I
don't
mean,
have the
I would
lien.
ask for your opinion on
The
that.
landlord half the time don't live there.
I just,
So if you want the tenants to be
Yeah,
notified, we have no information for those people.
I mean, it may be something, you know, if we're going to revisit the whole thing, that's something to discuss.
Yeah.
You know, using common sense, how much, what kind of distance are you looking at for certain types of signs? And if I could, maybe make a suggestion, if you're going to kind of look at some of this traffic enforcement and committee stuff, maybe look at something like, stop signs. What are the purpose, of the stop signs? And what are the reasons for putting up a stop sign, just to be consistent? When you have the request for stop signs at a certain location, so there's some guidance to go by when you're considering those
yeah,
things.
and I think I know where you're going on that, because I've been here long enough to know that stop signs are not supposed to be used the way we're using them. They're not supposed to be used for traffic calming. And we do that all the time. We put, that's why we have so many stop signs on Coit, right? Yeah, I mean, next few weeks, it's a crazy season, and we're gonna see all sorts of new stop signs go up, right?
And I think things like that, using, maybe Coit Avenue as an example, that's maybe reasons why people do the rolling stops.
Yeah.
I'm not justifying him. I stop at stop signs and people give me the horn sometimes.
But I mean, even your police
but-
officers, they go by common sense, because if they're rolling, a little rolling, 9 out of 10 of the policemen are gonna, they're not shooting right by it like some of these people that are blowing right through them.
But what, I mean,
You're gonna weigh
that's
everything.
where discretion is, but
Right.
it's a violation, so whether the officer decides to issue it or not, that's,
Yeah.
the officer's
Right,
discretion,
exactly.
so.
And that's fine. But ultimately, it does do what we had hoped it would do.
I do have a question, I
Instead of blowing
guess.
by it, they're coasting
Sure.
by it.
And Dave,
it does.
I know this is your ward, I really haven't had a chance to talk to you, but Chief, on Coit Avenue, there's a stop sign that, there's overgrown bushes at a corner and the stop sign's right there, but you can't see around the corner unless you go a little bit past the stop sign. And I guess we're issuing tickets for rolling through the stop sign, but people are coming up to the stop sign but going through it a little bit to see.
Isn't there a yellow sign that says stop ahead
Yeah.
on the other side of the bushes?
I mean, I don't know exact,
They're passing the stop
Location.
sign because they really can't see around
is that near
the
that
corner.
construction
It's,
business?
man, what the heck is this? No, no,
Trying to think.
you're gonna put me on the spot.
There's a lot of them like that.
It's
like
the
Earl
it's the
Street
one that's a
as
T.
well. Earl Street onto North.
It's not the four-way stop.
Okay.
It's not quite Hamilton.
There's
It's
one-
not quite
That's why we're
Crompton.
straight.
It's the one closest to 117.
I mean, I think that's maybe something to look at. I don't know if there's a stop line there, but even if there's a stop line, they should stop there and then, kind of roll forward to see. There's
But
quite
the
a few of
I
intersections.
guess the residents who live in the
can make the
area
stop
know the
line
area, so they
15
know
feet
where to
wide.
go and they know how to get through and they know, but they do a rolling,
That's gonna be so far
rolling
off the
stop
road.
because.
But that's, like I said, some of the issues
I know.
involved with, stop sign enforcement.
I know.
It's too close to the
Atlantic.
road. It wasn't sticking
Okay,
out where you
all right, yeah, that would be the first
But
one.
if the person's bushes are stopping the view, what,
You have to send the building official
I was gonna
to,
say, what power do we have to?
you can't
I'm not
block the site.
sure what the the ordinance is pertaining to,
All right.
the
Right.
properties.
The building official took care of that a few spots for me where
Yeah.
they let their hedges come out on the road and the handicapped people from the manors couldn't get by with their wheelchairs.
Actually, on Sear Court, they made my cousin take the fence down, remember that?
Yeah.
Because it was,
Yeah. So we have that ordinance already in place. You just notify Kerry and he'll take care of it.
all right, thank you.
Can I say one more thing to the chief? Chief, before you go, I want to congratulate you and the force for the job you guys did last night on Prospect Hill, getting
Yeah.
that barricaded man out of there and handling that situation that well.
Actually, you've had a very busy
Great job
week.
by all.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, it was kind of a.
Departments have had a very, very busy week.
Barricaded himself inside the apartment.
Thank you, it was successful, no one got hurt. That's what we always strive for. I think I'm off.
Different class of people.
And two,
there
and
now.
two other things I just want to touch on. Some of you sent out an email, Angela, I know you sent out an email about the groundbreaking for the Policeman's Memorial site. Kevin O'Connell did, you guys listening?
I'm sorry, no.
Ed keeps disrupting me.
Sorry.
Pay you back
Sorry,
for
Mr.
ratting
President.
out your
Go ahead.
wife.
All right, so Angela sent out an email about the concerns with the groundbreaking yesterday. Kevin had thought, he sent us an email. He actually thought it was kind of funny that nobody from the town showed up yesterday, but he did come up to me tonight, and he came up to Brian and said that he did send us an email, but it must not have went through or whatever. So that was a mistake, so no hard feelings up here, please. Also, Fred, thank you. If you want to thank the owners of Lippet Mill for getting that building down. That came down over the weekend, and they're finishing the cleanup today. And I see a lot more vehicles from New Jersey, New York. So are they starting to
Yeah, actually,
maintain?
I just got an email today. The owner's going to be on the site again on the 3rd and offered to provide a walkthrough with anybody that'd like to join. I was planning on going, probably the building official, but they'd be able to give us an update and timing of the schedule and all that, so I can send you, if you have times that work better for you on the 3rd, if you want to go with us on that, I'd be happy to.
June 3rd is, I'll have to double check because there's a graduation day at the high school.
Class day, yeah.
Class day, and
Yeah, I'm gonna be
they're gonna
away.
be doing a memorial for Jared, so I wanna try to be there for that,
So we can schedule around that.
so we can try to see what's available.
Dave, just
Okay.
tell them, I can't get a hold of anybody. I'm gonna be away. We have a Sons of Italy convention out of
Yeah.
state. 3rd, 4th, and 5th, so I won't be around.
Yeah, they're gonna have they're gonna actually, for Jared Gorham, they're gonna be giving the parents his diploma that day, so I definitely wanna be there, considering he's a good friend of my son and I coached him.
I just, Oh,
Go ahead, Andrew.
No, I just got one quick, go ahead.
No, it's all.
Oh, one thing. Fred, update on the skate park.
So the apparatus that we have from the old park has been reinstalled. Everything is connected and ready to go, so I think that section's open.
I haven't been by there, I
In
haven't
the meantime, so it is open for what's available. There was only a few pieces that were left that were usable. We've approved a plan to build it out to fit the larger area now. It's going to be, believe it or not, the cost for the apparatus alone is over $43,000.
But I thought
the new
that's what they
pieces?
were
They are.
expected to
They
do.
are.
Cost over 90 when we first
Yeah.
bought
Right.
this stuff.
Yeah, so the school is purchasing those now, and that's all part of the agreement.
Didn't we get any reimbursement from the trust for that?
That one was
That
burnt.
did not get
Yeah.
submitted.
What?
Oh, my God.
Ray Beatty did not submit that, I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Really?
I remember that.
Yeah, that was before.
That was
Well, they
90
denied it.
grand.
The statute of limitations on that.
One of the two.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he may,
Filing for it?
but it was either denied, we could double check. I can
I'll
actually
double
call
check.
Ray.
I'll
Yeah, why
call.
don't you see?
I'll call the trust and
It was
ask.
either denied or, it wasn't covered.
But anyway, the school's going, is part of the agreement to move it. The school's going to be paying for this. So they've ordered the equipment, and as soon as that comes in, they'll install everything. And
No time.
It depends on the company that has the
I
equipment.
thought all
so
that was already ordered.
we needed to install what we had and see what worked and what didn't, and then provide them the layout again with what we had in there to the company that does all the designs for us. So they took that and they fit in everything they could within, where the people that still had room to move and stuff.
So we had no idea how big it was gonna be.
No, we knew how big it was going to be, but we didn't know what the equipment that we had left over was usable, because until you get it out, because there was several pieces that we thought would work, we got it out there, and it just, you couldn't make it work. It wasn't safe. So we took those out, and we have that. So it won't be, should probably be 3 to 4 weeks before they order and get it in. But in the meantime, it's open and they can utilize it, so.
And just to clarify,
Thank you.
and when you say 93,000, the portion that was lit on fire, I'm not sure if that was submitted to the trust, but there was also a lot of things stolen, like the benches, they unbolted them and took, anything metal, they took, anything they could take, they took.
Yeah, that's
And that was not trust.
I saw the original plans, I was like, where's all this other stuff?
It
And they're
all-
like, it's not there, it wasn't there when we took it apart. I'm like, there's nothing here, there's like 4 pieces or something in there
Well,
now.
now the cameras are right in view.
Correct, and that's why we wanted to move it up there, because now we can see everything.
Yeah, and when they lit it on fire, if I remember correctly, there was an issue with the trust or something to that aspect that they weren't gonna cover. So that's what happened.
I'll follow up with the trust on
I don't remember,
Or denied either way.
I don't remember them denying us or putting in a claim for that, but I don't remember what I ate for breakfast.
All right, any other comment?
Cheerios.
Any public comment, Kevin? By the way, your tree's taking pretty good now.
It is, I'm sorry. It's sprouting new lettuce.
They put motor on it.
You'll finally have grass once, for once.
You know, it looks wonderful. My yard's never been so big.
That's what I'm saying.
I just want to comment, those caution, I live on Sydney Street, so those caution things they did install are working. The only one problem I see is the kids are skateboarding in between them. But they are working, it slows down the traffic. All the neighbors are commenting about it, that, it's working good, It is. So, I go there, by that place 15, 20 times a day.
I thought it would,
It-
and I'm glad it's up there.
It does, because something, when people come over the crest, come around Pulaski Street, they see that yellow sign, and they automatically slow down, because they don't know if there's a cop down there waiting for them, or they see this caution sign, they don't know if it's a new device with camera in it or something, but they're
Maybe-
slowing down.
Maybe we should put some down on the far end, right, the Coventry end.
Well,
That's a problem, too.
that's the problem,
Yeah,
too.
it's a big
You
problem.
don't want one near your house, too?
We throw rocks at cars in our house.
Oh, you're the one that hit me.
You're going too fast.
And the next comment, I apologize. The people that I notified by phone showed up at the memorial. The people I emailed didn't, and I have T-Mobile, and I have limited data on my computer. So I sent out all these emails, and I didn't realize it didn't go through because I had no more data on my iPad.
it was a gift, and I guess at the end of the month, when you run out of data, it doesn't send any emails.
Apology accepted.
Okay, so that's what happened. Even the guy with the statue showed up at the chief's front door. He was supposed to be there Thursday, and I'm emailing him all weekend. I'm saying, where are you? You're supposed to be here. I'm waiting for you, to take possession of this bronze statue. He never emailed me back, so he shows up at the chief's, and he says, I've been trying to email you. And he says, you're not receiving it? I said, I tried to email you, and you haven't. So come to find out today, I checked with T-Mobile. I have no more data till the first of the month. So there'll be no more emails, but my apologies, not anybody. But even Congressman Langevin, they never got it. Senator Reid, I invited them all, so.
I figured there was something wrong because it wasn't right that, I took it personally that we didn't get it, but then when the chief explained to me,
Exactly. And I know you didn't get one for the steak fry too, right?
didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
First, I just heard now.
And Mr. Tucker said he did get it. So,
When was that?
in September.
Yeah, you were at that.
Oh, I went, me and you.
Yeah, but you said you
I didn't get it.
Exactly.
I didn't get the email,
Ex-
but somebody mentioned it to me 2 days prior to that, and I came. And
That's-
remember, I even grabbed you near the tent, and I said, hey,
Absolutely.
I didn't get an email, but I'm here. You said, thanks for
I
coming.
learned
Right.
about it on Channel 10 the other day. They said you guys were doing it in the morning. Channel 10 announced that you guys were having your groundbreaking, so that's how I learned it.
Really?
Yeah, Channel 10 did it in the morning.
Did you call him?
Mr.,
Oh. Yeah, they were there. Channel 12 was there too.
what's his name there in the morning?
Frank Coletta? Oh, from West Warwick, right? Went to school with him. Well, again, my apologies. You will be notified by phone by me when we have
No,
the,
it's just a shame because I would have loved to
Unveiling.
attend.
Kevin, you
I
can
know.
always let the chief know or the manager know to get it out.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah, just let him email
Well,
us.
Exactly. I should have at the financial town meeting. I talked to Fred, but it was getting close, and I talked to Kendra. I said, it's a quick thing. I says, if you want to be there. And I was going to talk to you, gentlemen, but John Bernero was starting the meeting, and I says, I'll talk to him after. I never got to talk to him. We left, and my wife gets home. She says, you're going to email them about the, I said, yeah. I said, I talked to Fred. I said, I'll email him. So I emailed all you. I emailed all the senators. Even the guy from Advance who was doing he didn't show up. I said, that's kind of strange. He's doing the irrigation. He didn't show up. He was part of that email. So, again, my apologies, but again, we'll get together at the opening ceremonies and get this thing unveiled.
Yep.
I checked with the granite company today. All the blocks are in the process of being done. I still need yours.
I know he's still for my birthday. Yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
I
It's like trying to get blood out of a granite.
But they're all being done, and as soon as they're,
I gave him the money.
we don't want to lay the gravel and
Your
the sand
apology, too.
until we have all the bricks done. So we're waiting for that to happen. As soon as he calls and he delivers them, they're going to start leveling the ground, I believe, next week. And get the site prepared and pour the footings, because the granite piece just came in. It's huge. It's 8 feet long, 7 feet tall.
Wow.
So,
You ought to have a waterfall coming down on it.
okay. You want to pay for it? We'll have it.
Another round of donations.
Little pond, koi. But thank you again. I apologize, and
Okay, you take care.
Any other comment? Any more public comment? Motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor?